Do you struggle to feel more alive, vital, more present in your life, more connected in your relationships? Do you wonder if it's even possible, especially given all the things that seem to be working against us in the world these days? Listen, I know it's challenging, but based on the many people that I've helped and on my own personal experience, I also know that it's very possible. It's possible if we can find the courage to open up to the resources inside of us and begin to move forward in a different way. So join me now to learn the key to experiencing greater and more lasting happiness in your life and relationships.
You have a 4-step approach that's very well described in your book. Could you describe it a little bit? And is there any one step within the 4 steps that sidetracks people more than others?
It's a 4-step approach, like you said, and it starts off with emotional mindfulness. It starts off with becoming aware of our feelings and becoming aware of our defenses. So in the first step, what we're really trying to do is increase our conscious awareness of our emotional experience. So I help people in the book attune to the signs that they're having feelings, to slow down and be more mindful of what's going on in their bodies, and to discover, catch the ways in which they avoid their feelings. The second step is called taming the fear. Now, the reason why we avoid our feelings is because they make us anxious. They feel scary. They feel dangerous in some way. So there's anxiety that's present, and that is key to being able to move forward differently, is to find a way to tame that fear. So in the second step, I teach people ways to regulate their anxiety so that they can bring their anxiety down and begin to open up to their emotions. This process, is something that we do a little bit at a time, one step at a time. It's not like you make your anxiety go away and then you just jump into your feelings. If we can learn how to bring our anxiety down a little bit, it allows us to at least a little bit open up to our emotions, and the more we do that, the less afraid that we get. The third step is called feeling it through, and that really is about experiencing our emotions. Our emotions are like a wave in the ocean. They have a beginning, a middle, and an end. They have a flow to them, an energetic flow. They may start off small and rise up really quickly, or they may be like ripples in a brook that move through us. But if we're able to stay with our feelings, like I said, there's a beginning, a middle, and an end. Now, lots of us end up doing all these things to try and defend against our feelings, and that's when we get stuck in them. And we think, oh my gosh, they're going to last forever. But the reality is, they stick around longer when we do things to try and avoid them. If we're able to stay with that, in other words, feeling it through, which is the name of that step, if we can stay present to them and open up to the experience and move with the energy, we feel them through, they take us to a better place. That's the third step. And then the fourth step is opening up, and that has to do with sharing our feelings with other people. Now, not every feeling needs to be shared. What's most important is that we're in touch with them and we're able to make use of the wisdom and power of our feelings. But most of our feelings, or a lot of our feelings, motivate us to do something, and oftentimes that has to do with sharing them in some way. So we may then choose to share our experience or share what's going on for us. And that presents another round of fear for people, because another aspect is sharing our feelings. Another aspect of our fear has to do with sharing our feelings with others. We're afraid about how we're going to react. So again, we call on some of our earlier steps, taming the fear, in order to be able to open up and share them with others. But those are the 4 steps. Now, you asked what step do most people get hung up with? That's a good question. I would say that what we get hung up with without any help is taming the fear. We avoid our feelings because they're scary. So when we get to the place where we start to feel afraid again, what we want to do is avoid them, right? That's what we've been doing all along. So without any help, without reading my book or working with someone who, can help you with your feelings, when we start to feel our anxiety, that reflex kicks in and we want to avoid them. Everyone's different, and some people find that, being more mindful of their feelings, being able to name them, it makes it a lot easier for them to stay present to them. And one of the experiences that most people have is that as they start to make room for their feelings, and with my support, they see fairly quickly how it's relieving, how it provides them with clarity, how they experience their truth. They find the motivation to be able to, move forward. But then there are other people who have more of a struggle. So everyone's different, and sometimes it's slower. But what I say in my book is that it doesn't really matter. All that matters is that you keep at it. And even if you're taking tiny steps, ultimately over time, they build up, and your tolerance and your ability to be with your emotions builds up. So I may work more slowly with someone, and other people may move ahead at, a more, at a, I don't want to say faster pace, but, may move ahead with more ease. I do a lot of supporting people and helping people to stay present to what's going on and see actually that even when they're feeling afraid, they're working at being present. Because if you're feeling afraid and if you're feeling anxious, it's a sign that you're getting closer to your feelings. And so that's actually a good thing. And if you're able to stay with it, you realize that you can tolerate it and you're able to move forward.
So you see, if we can find the courage to open up to a fuller experience of our emotions, so much is possible. To learn more about how you can live like you mean it, no matter what obstacles come your way, go to cfcliving.com/optimal living to download Optimal Living in Challenging Times, a free audio program that I've put together to help you do just that. To living like you mean it, be well.